The peregrine falcon is a small, deadly and powerful aerial diver. Peregrine falcons, also historically known as the duck hawk in North America, are one of the most prolific and powerful predatory birds on the entire planet. Their hooked beak, dark tear marks and gray to brown feathers are recognizable across every continent except Antarctica. Peregrine falcons are highly migratory birds, but have excellent homing instincts that can bring them back to familiar nesting grounds year after year. Their massive geographic distribution has given rise to numerous subspecies, although all of them can reach record-breaking speeds in their characteristic dive to catch their airborne prey. They are also a popular raptor species for falconers who train them to catch and return game birds. High speeds. These falcons hold the speed record of all known records. They routinely reach 200 miles per hour while hardly making a sound during their dives. Learn about the world's fastest animals here. Hunting birds. Despite their strong independent instincts, these birds are a prime choice for taming and use by falconers. Lifelong romance. Peregrine falcons are birds that often mate for life and thus travel, nest and raise young as a pair. In a scrape. Peregrine nests are called scrapes and are typically found on tall buildings or on narrow ledges of towering cliffs. Peregrines are relatively large for a falcon, with a body length of 1 to 2 feet and a wingspan that can reach almost 4 feet from tip to tip. Adult females typically weigh a bit more than males, with an average female weight of 1.8 pounds and an average male weight of 1.5 pounds. Some of the largest specimens recorded were a 3.3-pound female and a 2.2-pound male. Despite size differences between genders, they are quite similar in terms of coloration and other visible traits. Peregrine has a distinctly hooked beak that may be multicolored. They are usually dark, with feathers ranging in color from brown to grayish-black depending on subspecies. Adults usually have white or light color plumage on their underside that may have darker barring along the crest. Peregrines engage in a distinct type of diving when hunting their prey. They tend to float aloft high in the sky watching for birds or bats, although they may target mammals and insects when desperate. Once they've selected the target, they drop into a fast dive and reach a speed of 200 miles per hour as they plummet. Some sources indicate the fastest falcon dive on record reached a breathtaking speed of 242 miles per hour, making it the fastest animal species in the world. They typically target a wing or limb of their prey to avoid harming themselves on impact. These birds love heights and are either found floating in the sky or perched on tall structures. They may use natural structures, like mountains or tall trees, as well as buildings and other man-made ones. They are also highly migratory and may travel many miles in a single day as they scout for prey. Peregrine falcons prefer to take the skies above open areas, like fields and beaches, where they can easily spot potential prey. Since they mate for life, they typically travel and nest in pairs. While they tend to prefer temperate to cold climates, the peregrine is found on every continent in the world except Antarctica. They also inhabit most climate zones, with the exception of frigid polar environments, extreme deserts, and tropical rainforests. They are also considered a highly successful urban predator and are often seen hunting in cities and other developed areas. Their migratory nature can carry individual birds over 10,000 miles in a single year, with some going from the Arctic to areas south of the equator on an annual basis. As such, their habitats can be extremely diverse, ranging from the open tundra to rugged mountains. Despite their wandering nature, falcons often return to the same exact nesting ground each year to lay their eggs and look after their young. Like other raptors, The peregrine is a true carnivore and predator. They spend a lot of their time soaring around high in the sky waiting for an opportunity to plunge at a prey animal. Birds in flight are their primary target, but they are also known to eat smaller animals or even insects when they are desperate for food. Medium-sized prey birds are the ideal target for peregrine falcons. Plump fowl like pigeons, doves, ducks, and other water birds are favored prey, but they can also target wading and songbird species. One of the many astounding facts about these falcons is that they prey on up to 2,000 distinct bird species across the planet. They have a substantial range in potential target size and can kill birds much larger than themselves. Peregrines are often near the top of the food chain in their various native ranges, but that doesn't mean they don't have their own threats to worry about. They can fall prey to large airborne predators like eagles and the great horned owl. Nesting falcons may also be vulnerable to land-bound reptiles and mammals depending on their choice of nesting site. The biggest threat to peregrine populations has historically been pesticide use. The 1960s and 70s saw a significant decline in their global population due to the buildup of DDT and other toxic chemicals in their targeted prey species. However, subsequent curtailing of pesticides has led to a resurgence in population, and the peregrine is now considered a species of least concern in terms of conservation. The facts of habitat disruption and ecological encroachment by human development are also concerns, but the species has shown remarkable ability to survive in urban or suburban environments. Peregrine falcons aren't just serious about hunting, they can also be quite serious about their courtship and nesting habits. These birds mate for life and usually return to the same nesting ground every single year. Males court their prospective mates through a series of complex and acrobatic aerial spirals, dives, and other maneuvers. They also pass prey that they've caught to the female in a mid-air swap that requires the female to fly upside down in parallel. These birds become quite territorial once the breeding season begins, and they actively defend their nest against predators, which can include other peregrines, ravens, and gulls. Ground nests may also be vulnerable to various mammals, like wolves, mountain lions, and wolverines. They may alert each other to impending threats through a distinctive call made of short, repetitive, kak sounds. Otherwise, these birds are generally quiet and don't make a sound while hunting or flying. Females generally lay a clutch of 3 to 4 eggs in their nest, which is called a scrape. Both members of the mating pair help protect and incubate the eggs for about a month. The chicks, called eyases, start learning to fly around the 45-day mark. Falcons become sexually mature at 2 to 3 years old and have a potential lifespan of up to 20 years, although the average life expectancy is 7 to 15 years.